Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for episode 4 of the FoutsCast. I am here joined
Hold on. So, I know we're on part 2 or whatever. Conrad Thompson and Tony Schiavone can go 4 hours talking about WrestleMania 18 when Tony Schiavone wasn't even a part of the business at that point. And I get cut off at a half an hour.
I'm sorry. We have guidelines. We have structure. We have to be maintained to keep us on our platforms the right way. And also, I need more content.
Yeah, makes sense.
So, guys, like I was saying, episode 4, we got Chris freaking Manning back, man, and I can tell he's ready to dive right into it. So, on the previous episode, something we wanted to talk about that, I could tell kind of ticked you off when it got brought up was crediting photos.
Well, and here's the thing. So, a lot of the guys that know me, this isn't going to surprise them, but some of you folks that think, oh, he's so nice, he brings his kids to the show, and he's so nice. I'm not. I'm actually kind of a prick. And you're going to hear a little bit of that now. Crediting photos. So I don't get as bent out of shape about this as I used to. Just because, there are folks that are starting to recognize my style a little bit. I talked about that in the first episode. But you'll see things like I had somebody post a picture, the watermark got cut off, and somebody said, "Photos by Manning?" And they're like, "Yeah, that's pretty cool." But this is what I'm going to say. Not just me. People like me, Tony Brennan, Kayla Stenselin, Michael Watson, Basil, Ian, anybody that you've ever seen at a wrestling show shooting. We're shooting all the matches. We're probably shooting promos in the back. And then we're going home and editing until who knows when, for however long. You and I have had many conversations at 4 o'clock in the morning because I'm still doing a show, which is, how I got over with my pal TJ Benson, because he says my turnaround times are amazing. I just wanted to name drop TJ Benson. That's probably going to be one of the last positive things I say. I love TJ. So we spend all this time, and then you'll see somebody take and put like 4, 5, 6 photos, put a funny caption, get 1 million likes. It's awesome. But it, doesn't help out the guy that gave you the picture. This is... And my pals have heard me say this before. This is all I'm going to say. I put out a picture of Austin Aries from the Hall of Fame last year. Austin Aries, a guy who's wrestled at WrestleMania, a guy who's been a multiple-time Impact World Champion, a guy who has done a whole lot in this business. If Austin Aries can, after putting his 97,000 vegan hashtags, good for him. That's out. But if Austin Aries can take the time to just put that little @Photos by Manning, and he's done it for other people too, but if Austin Aries can take the time to do it, kid fresh out of training that is on match number 6, you probably have the time to do it. That's not just for me, because again, I know it sounds like it bothers me. It doesn't bother me anywhere near where it did, year and a half ago?
Oh, jeez.
It doesn't bother me at all.
Ballpark.
But there are people out there that it does bother, and there are people out there that bust their butts and spend time, losing sleep, away from family, whatever the case is, to get that stuff out, because we do it for the boys and girls in the back, men and women, whatever you want to call it. We do it for that. There's no one in independent wrestling, specifically in Iowa, Nebraska, where I spend most of my time, that's getting rich off of any of it. And I mean wrestler, manager, promoter, photographer, videographer, nobody's getting rich off of it. So I literally don't do it for the money. There have been plenty of shows that I've done, I don't get paid. That's not the popular thing to say in my wrestling photography group. But I do it for the talent. Yeah, I enjoy it. I absolutely do. But I just want anybody, regardless of the level that you're at, but especially, the kids starting out, think about that, because a photographer can make or break you. A videographer can make or break you. And what I'm going to say on that is, if there's somebody that some of you may like, and you may or may not have noticed that I haven't taken a whole lot of pictures of them, you can read between the lines as to why.
You and I have even had conversations where I said, look how great this picture is.
Yeah.
Too bad nobody's going to see it because they want to be a disrespectful prick.
Yeah.
And I know most of the time you cave and you end up posting it anyway. But at the same time, I've made sure from day one, when I first saw you upload a picture of me, I said, thank you.
You did.
I made sure. And I'm not saying I've always been great because there's times you message me, hey, thanks for the tag, prick.
Yeah, but I can do that with you. There's a few people I can do that with. No, you were my very first promo picture. It was you and Justin and Aaron.
Yeah, that was a fun day.
It was a fun day. We have some, and speaking of unreleased pictures, we have some from that day too that were in the shower.
That was probably one of my favorite promo pictures to this day. That was my Tinder picture for a while, back in my single days.
How'd that work out for you?
It didn't. People thought it was weird as shit. But like with the crediting and stuff, and that's something that's starting to bother me more. It's because, what bothers me is when, the Sammy Callahans, the Austin Aries, those guys can give you credit, but then, John or Jane Doe from bumfuck nowhere can't even give you, they have to take the time out of their day to crop out your watermark.
That didn't happen this weekend. What are you talking about?
Oh, I totally, yeah.
But, again, like I said, I'm not even saying this for me. I'm saying it for the people that are coming up, the people that it does bother, because it's genuinely okay for people to be bothered by it. I just don't give a shit anymore unless somebody's really pissed me off. But even the one that you were pointing out, this particular talent, posted 3 pictures of mine from last weekend, and one of which was questionable, one of which the watermark was clearly on, and one of which I still blamed on Instagram. So I'm still going to give a benefit of the doubt to the talent where you're kind of like, F that person. I almost said their name. I'm not going to say their name because I don't think it was intentional.
I think it was. Screw that person.
But there was no... But again, there are people that get really bent out of shape about it. So just helping you guys out that travel. Some of you guys that do, Illinois, Wisconsin, Ohio, whatever. There are people that if you don't credit them once, you're not going to see your pictures from the next show. I'm typically not that bad.
Real quick, before we... just because... I know people like to use that excuse a lot, that Instagram crops their stuff out.
Well, there's a button you can do to do it, but most people don't know it, I know.
Oh, it's not even a button. If I go down here and I select, I think I got a picture of yours on my phone.
Yeah, but you need a wider lens for that. Oh, not that one, sorry.
Yeah, that's not even the one I want to count. All right.
I was talking about my dick.
Jesus. All right, I don't know. I thought I had a picture of yours up close right now.
Yeah, way to try to prove a point.
All right, look at this. Look at how hard this is. You just grab it and you squeeze it out. And look at that. The whole picture's in the damn frame.
Hey, that was those backstage pictures that we took for the Rugged poster for the show. It
starts there. Yeah, let's not talk about how the show got canceled. It starts here. All you do is just pinch it, and then the whole picture's in there. It's not that hard, guys.
Hey, you guys are doing that social, the marketing thing in Indiana?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one of the things you need to touch on.
Already got it in my notes.
How to crop an Instagram picture.
How to crop a damn Instagram picture, because you know what? That's kind of a thing. Some people will laugh at me saying this, some people won't. But whether you like it or not, I've probably made, I made a pretty fair amount of money in the short amount of time I've been wrestling. And it's all about the hustle. And one of the big things that have helped me get by that hustle is, I make sure to thank people. Because, when you get a new backdrop or something and you're wanting to try it out, guess who's getting, a good rate at promo pictures? Me, because you want to text out, and you know that I'm going to credit you. I'm going to make sure you get your stuff. So how much money I've saved by just thanking the people around me.
I mean, you probably could have gotten better pictures, but
no. Top quality work from a top quality guy. People that top indie promotions are looking at wanting to shoot their shows. I get for a phenomenal rate because you know why? Because I've been thanking him. I make sure he always gets credited. And it's easy things you can do, guys. It's not rocket science.
Now, we're going to move into something that's going to sound a little hypocritical, but I don't really give a shit. So as much as the folks that are at ringside, and by the way, even stuff like, for those of you that know, I'm involved in this silly angle with 3XW, which was basically done with Todd calling my bluff, and it's been some of the most fun that I've had. I love Barbosa, my character. I'm not a character, he's a character. I'm just a guy. But I'm supposed to hate him. I love Ryan. Great dude. I love the fact that Todd continues to come up with new and interesting things to do this. But even I had a promo video, and when I posted it, I made sure that I thanked Shad, because Shad's the one that did it. And the funny thing is, I forgot. So I know how easy it is. It's part of the reason I don't care, but there are others that do. But the hypocritical side of it is, if you are a fan that bought a ticket to walk into the arena or the building or the VFW hall or wherever, no one gives a shit about your shitty cell phone pictures. They don't. And if you have a camera and you're shooting from the third row, no one gives a shit. I'm going to tell you something else too. If you have a camera, chances are you probably have a Canon Rebel. Guess what? There's nothing wrong with a Canon Rebel. I started with a Canon Rebel. I still have a Canon Rebel. In a pinch, if something happened, I dropped my camera, broke it, whatever, I know that I can still take quality images with it. But on the Canon Rebel, there's this little thing that pops up that you can use as a flash. Guess what? You accomplish nothing when you use that shooting from 30 feet away. The only thing that you potentially do is piss off the people around you and piss off someone looking directly at you. Put your cell phones away and enjoy the fucking show. If you want to bring your camera to the show, then talk to the promoter and say, hey, is there any way that I could maybe get a little closer and maybe take a few shots for you? If they... And all that, you got to be able to have something to show them. I'm not bitching on people shooting from the crowds. Guess what? My first few shows, I shot from the crowd. And then Troy Peterson said, these are really good. You can shoot from wherever you want. Funny thing is, I look back on it now. I actually look back at my first Algona show that I shot, and I was looking at settings that I used. And I would kick myself in the dick right now if I tried to do that. So, you got to know what you're doing. You got to show some results. And this is what I've said before. If there's someone in Des Moines that is interested in shooting wrestling, and you can come and you can shoot better than me, I'm going to be the first person to tell you, man, your stuff's way better. Please come shoot. There are a couple exceptions to that. Michael Watson, please stay away from 3XW and IPW because you are better than me. But what I'm saying is stop with the cell phone shit. And there is someone out there that has actually made a career that is now standing ringside at some of the biggest indies in the Midwest, but he's now using a video camera. And he started off using an iPod. And you know what? Not everybody is a Martin from Wrestling with Unicorns. You know who's a Martin from Wrestling with Unicorns? Martin and his brother. Everybody else, it's not going to work for you. They're not going to share your shit unless you get something insane. For example, when Marco Stunt did that crazy top rope sunset flip to Ace Romero, someone got that and that went semi-viral. It didn't go viral because of the quality of the video. It went viral because of what happened in the fucking ring. I mean, no offense to anyone, but Austin and Tyler against Jimmy Wild and James Jeffries probably isn't going to have a moment that's going to go viral.
Now, time out. James Jeffries is involved in this thing.
I know. I should.
And you know that's going to be the damn. Now, James. Okay. Now, if we're talking about Flex Peel versus Jimmy and Rob Evans, then okay, I'll accept it because you know there's already 15,000 videos of the drop cord minivan in that match. So you know that's like the greatest finisher ever. So you know everybody wants to see a drop cord minivan, but I get like,
and I meant no disrespect when I said that to anyone, but what I'm saying is you guys probably, although Jimmy did jump off the thing in Algona, right, and that should have gone. But I was just using it as an example of four guys that I know well. What I'm saying is that you're probably not going to do a 720 off the top of Forte
right
onto something on the outside. Now Malice and Ugly might have,
right,
but so, and again, I told you I was going to be a prick. Stop with the cell phones. And if you want to take a picture for yourself, that's one thing. If you want to take a picture at intermission, you want to do that, that is fine. But I'm going to tell you, when you people post this stuff, it is, and then you tag all the wrestlers in it. There are a few exceptions because there are some wrestlers that absolutely just want to see themselves. They don't care how blurry it is. But most of them, there are people that are hired to take photo and video. Now, if you're doing something for your memories whatever. I don't know. I could go on this all day long. I don't think someone with a cell phone is going to take my job, and that's not what this is about. It's just so annoying.